Hi, Tom Hanneman here again. Thank you for viewing and joining me. This video is another discussion about a transformation that we did for a client's resume. So I will just now share the screen of his original resume. There it is. And so we can have a quick look at that. Now, the thing of it is, and this is often not the case in Australia, but this person who's a senior manager, senior executive in the hospitality sector is applying for jobs in various parts of Southeast Asia. And photo's okay because applying for roles in some of those countries is the norm. However, in Australia, the US, UK, and many other countries, photos are not normally included in resumes. Now, his profile section is too generic. It doesn't differentiate him from others who have similar backgrounds and experience. And there's too many buzzwords. For example, passionate, engaged, flexible, adaptive, creative, results-oriented, etc., etc. It's all fluff. It doesn't actually differentiate him, and it doesn't, give him a business case for being a contender for the sorts of roles that that he's interested in. Okay, and his skills are very generic. I mean, he's a general manager, so obviously general management is going to be one of his skills, and leadership, brand management, business development, and so on. It's all generic stuff. The other thing that he's done in his resume is included his interests. Typically not relevant, but in some countries, employers do want to know what people like to do outside work, but normally it's not going to give you an edge over other candidates. Now, when he talks about his roles, his mandate is not really all that clear, and it doesn't really answer the question, why were you hired? What were the business challenges facing the various properties that he worked in? He talks about increasing gross operating profit and various other financial indicators, but he doesn't indicate how he achieved those outcomes. And recruiters and hiring managers want to know this. They also want to know what were the issues and challenges facing the person in each of these roles. When someone hires a general manager of a hotel, or even a group of hotels, they want to know what was going on. Were there issues and problems and challenges that needed to be addressed? Now, in general, the resume that he initially sent to me lacks depth, and it doesn't provide the kind of insights recruitment consultants and hiring executive wants. Minor thing, but he's included his secondary education, probably not necessary to include that. And like many other people, he says that referees will be available on request. Now, yeah, they will be, and that's the case with everyone. Everyone will have to provide referees. There's no need to say that in your resume. However, if you do decide to include referees in your resume, then make sure that you brief your referees in advance of submitting your resume, so that they understand the kind of role that you're interested in and what the organisation is and the name of the person who's going to be contacting them, so that they can respond appropriately. Okay, so let's have another look or a look at the resume that we rebuilt, overhauled, transformed. Now you'll see that the look and feel of the document is a little bit more schmick and a bit more modern looking, and that's important. So format and layout, can be very important determinant. Again, we've retained his photo because it is something that a lot of countries in the region that he's interested in working want or expect. In Australia, the US, and other countries, not so much. The headline is important. He says he's a highly experienced general manager in the hospitality sector, worked in major 5-star hotels, achieved exceptional results, and he's outlined the countries that he has worked in. Now, the profile section talks about what it is that the company that hires him or wants to hire him is likely to get if they do so. So he's good at building brands, opening and operating luxury hotels, competitive markets, leadership, decisiveness, analytical, rigorous approach, adapts rapidly to change, setting the strategic direction, and so on. Now, we built this profile section around the kinds of things that are going to be required by the companies that are interested in hiring someone to a senior management position in the hotel sector or the hospitality and accommodation sector. Now, we've also provided a career snapshot, and that can be useful because it demonstrates at a very quick glance a summary of his career progression and positions him as having the right amount and level of experience for the types of roles he wants. And that basically says to the reader, I've come up through the ranks, I've worked in some significant and substantial properties, and that's going to be important. Now, we've also included an expertise section, and again, these are based on the requirements of the kinds of roles that he's interested in the sorts of organizations he wants to work in. So it is important when you build the key areas of expertise into your resume that you make sure that they are aligned with the requirements of the type of role that you are applying for. And if you do apply for different types of roles, make sure you adjust and fine-tune and customize. Now, with the experience and achievement section, we can see, well, first of all, we've talked a bit about what the property was, because even if the hotel or resort that he's managed is well known, it's useful to give a bit of a snapshot. 220 rooms, 3 restaurants, etc. And that gives the reader an idea of the scope and size and dimensions of the properties that he's managed. And we say that in the first job, we say that he was appointed to facilitate all of the pre-opening preparations for the launch of the hotel and establish it as one of the country's leading hotels. That was his mandate. And then we talk about his achievements and the significance of those achievements. Very, very clear. Enabled the property to rapidly adapt to the impact of COVID, and then talked about the strategies that he used in order to get those things accomplished. Same with delivering a 34% increase in operating profits and revenue. Here are the strategies that he put in place to achieve those. So there's a connection between the achievement and how he did it. And the how he did it is important because the reader can then get a sense of the person's operating style, positions him as intelligent and able to put together strategies that not necessarily everyone else will do. So it helps to differentiate. Okay, so and also because awards are a big deal in the hospitality sector, we had included a list of some of the awards, or the most important awards, that this property has achieved. And the same includes the same applies to the next job. Here's the scope and scale of the job: 270 rooms, 3 restaurants, etc. This is the focus of the role. Here's what I achieved, and how I achieved it, and so on and so forth for the of the this person's resume. So what ended up, well, the other thing that's important is that his resume demonstrates that he is able to overcome significant challenges, both market challenges and industry challenges, and challenges that are not associated with the market or the industry, but as a result of the COVID pandemic, and that's pretty that's pretty important. So what happened was that he was not really getting much traction with his original resume. He wasn't getting interviews for the kinds of roles that he wanted. He was getting interviews, but for roles that he didn't really want, either because the properties were too small or because they weren't in a great location. He had ambitions of getting either area general management roles where he would be responsible for multiple properties. He wasn't getting interviews for those sorts of roles. And once we reworked his resume, he was able to achieve the outcomes he was looking for. Got interviews for several fairly high-profile jobs in the sorts of locations that he was interested in working, and went on to secure some pretty good opportunities since we worked on his resume. So thanks for watching and listening. And of course, if you think that there are some takeaways that other people might derive from this discussion of the before and after, then let them know, forward them the link to this video, and do them a favor. In any event, I am very happy to have the opportunity of presenting this material to you. Hope you got some benefits and value from it. And in the meantime, until we meet again, take care and be safe, and enjoy whatever it is that you're doing. Cheers. Bye.